Hello, everybody. This is part 2 of If You Want to Preserve Your Culture, Do This. I was listening to Laura Loomer. She is an activist, political activist, who protested Twitter's ban. So Twitter banned her from their platform. She went to New York to their head office and chained herself in front of the office. Now, she was later removed, but according to her, she is doing that so social media outlets like Twitter, like Facebook, will stop silencing conservative voices. She alleged. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do part 2 of what I had already started. I had no intention of doing part 2, but I think I think I can solidify what I said, which was, if you really do want to preserve your culture, don't take it to politics. Like, don't take any part of it to the political scene. Meaning, don't give the government power to regulate your culture, any aspect of it. Because if you do, well, what is politics? It's a game of numbers. It doesn't matter how you see it, whether it's pure democracy or a republic. It is a game of numbers. And someday, somehow, or potentially, people that you don't like could come and vote you out, either to install their own or to give you a hard time or not. You really don't know. It is a big risk. So, why am I saying this? I'm saying this because she is protesting mainly about the unfair treatment that Twitter is doing to her and others like her. And for example, Louis Farrakhan, who she claimed he wrote something about Nazism, but he wasn't banned, about Muslim. She particularly emphasized Islam. She do not like the religion of Islam, the doctrine itself, because according to her, is a primitive ideology. I'm a Muslim and I don't take offense by this thing, but I see it as an oxymoron to keep eating poison and then fear that people would come and give you the same poison you are taking, because that poison is controlled by whoever is controlling the part. I don't know. That's probably a bad analogy. But my point is, you can't commit your culture to politics and then expect, and then later cry about it, that you are afraid that certain culture might dilute your culture. Of course, it's a game of numbers. So whether or not Islam will take over everywhere, it's up to anybody believing in the system that will bring about that kind of change. Take for example, you and I and others live in the same compound, okay? Everybody, is everybody, like you and I and others, everybody is doing their own thing. You go to work, I go to work. You keep what you earn, I keep what I earn. I practice my stuff, you practice your stuff. You protect yourself, I protect myself. The only way I can get your stuff is asking nicely, being kind to you, or giving you something of value in return for anything. I'm protecting myself. If you want to aggress against me, I have my own protection. I can't aggress against you because I know you have your own protection. It is absolutely shown that look at countries. When countries have, let's say, nuclear weapon, other people don't attack them. Other countries do not attack countries that have nuclear weapon. It just doesn't happen. So when you protect yourself, it's very unlikely. If I'm a thief and I know that you don't have anything to protect yourself, then I'm more likely to enter your house than I would be to enter someone else's house that I know they have a weapon. So what am I saying? Anyway, so just imagine in that house, everybody is in their own thing. You protect yourself, I protect myself. And the only way I can get anything from you is to be nice to you, basically, to give you something in value. Then there isn't going to be any voting that the majority of the people living in the compound could vote to take anything away from me. No way. Like, there isn't anything. That system doesn't exist to do that. So therefore, I can preserve my culture for the very longest time. But once we commit our culture, our economy, our lives to a compulsory organization, then it's a game of numbers. You've literally thrown away your culture to a game of numbers. Now, like I've always said, not always, since I no longer believe in complete violence, aka government, which was my last straw, I've always said government is a symptom of that and of our desire to control others through violence. So it's just a symptom. It's just, if today government is gone, oh yeah, people would want to control others because it's just the way people are brought up. Command and control, use violence to get what you want. So kicking away government right now wouldn't really solve much of our problem. These people will regroup some way, somehow, impose their ideology on others by force. Because what else have they learned? So what we need to do is to gradually teach people, start from the root. Start raising our children with logic and reasoning, and without no violence, no spanking, no emotional abuse, no shouting, so that they will grow up having ingrained in them, through logic, that you want to settle differences, you talk, not use force. You want anybody else's stuff, you provide value to that person, or you be nice to the person. So then they don't have desire to control others. And by growing up like that, they are more likely to be wealthy, to have less, to be more peaceful and therefore trying to take somebody else's stuff will be less. So government is less of a problem, but absolutely hypocritical for someone to use a system that uses force and then fear that others will take over the system and control them. That is hypocritical, in my own opinion. So yeah, I think the big picture here I'm painting is we need to continue to provide people with this idea. And from now on, our children, raise them non-violently, with logic and reasoning, respect. When you don't take someone else's stuff by force, that is respect. You don't have to like them. They don't have to like you. Just let them be. Protect yourself. Let them be. If they want anything from you, they'll be nice to you. Or they'll provide a value. They'll provide something of value. Now that's the strong moral character that really we have. Majority of the world have to have that character by raising our children that way in order to uphold that kind of character. It's a virtue. It's a virtue. You earn it, you learn it. It just doesn't come like that. It's we like it easy, and violence is, you get things through violence easily than you would through hard work of labor or something like that. So anyways, I hope I passed my point, even though majority of it is and things that don't make sense even to me. Thank you very much, and I will talk to you soon.